Okay, this is the 13 days now. 17, not 13. 17 days now. Let's begin. Don't waste time, my daughter. She has license today. She has class today, online class today. So I don't want to use too much data when she has class for her students. Let's begin. Don't mind where we got yesterday. Actually, in fact, I already read through all those materials, but not read out loud. So I still need to read them out loud. So this is a thing for me. I'm not that kind of uh, self-regulation very well person. So um, I I should read. I can read it by myself. Don't post it on website. But if I do that, I just read it silently. Um, won't read out loud. But I need practice my English, read out loud. So this is the way I practice my English. I'm so happy. Here has something like this, so I can read one novel or over a novel around. You know, I I will finish The Little Princess, I think, in 2 days or 3 days. That will be so great. Then I want to read um, The Human Bondage. 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 I forgot. Let's begin. He did not know how long she had been tried enough to sleep deeply and profoundly, too deeply and soundly to be disturbed by anything, even by the squeaks and the scampering of um, Melchizedek in their family. If all his sons and daughters had chosen to come out of their hole to fight and tumble and play. When she awake, when she awakened, it was rather suddenly, and she did not know that any particular thing had called her out of her sleep. And she didn't know, and she didn't know that any particular thing had called her out of her sleep. The truth was, however, that it was a sound which had called her back. A real sound, a click, a real called her back, a real sound, the click of the skylight, as if it fall in closing after this white figure. The oh, let
Live.
seemed a lithe white figure with which slipped through it and and crouched down and crouched down close by upon the slate of the roof, just near enough to see what happened in the attic, but not near enough to be seen. At first, she didn't open. At first, she did not open her eyes. She felt too sleepy, and curiously enough, warm and comfortable. She was so warm and comfortable, indeed, that she did not believe she was really awake. She never was as warm, as cozy as this expected in some lovely vision. What a nice dream, she murmured. I feel quite warm. I don't want to wake up. Of course, it was a dream. She felt as if warm, delightful bedclothes were heaped up her. She could actually feel blankets, and when she put off her hand, it touched something exactly like a satin covered Ed- edredon quilt. I, mm, is a quilt?
Quilt.
Quilt. It is a quilt. So don't afraid that this of this word again. Quilt. She must not awaken from this delight. She must be quite still and make it last. But she could not, even though she kept her eyes closed tightly. She could not. Sometimes was forcing her to awaken. Something was forcing her to awaken. Something in the room. It was a sense of It was a sense of light, a sound of crackling, rose, roaring little fire. Oh, I'm awakening, she said mournfully. I can't help it. I can't. Her eyes opened in spite of herself, and then she actually smelled. For what she saw she had never seen in the attic before, and knew she never should see. Oh, I haven't awakened, she whispered, daring to raise on her elbow and look all about her. I'm dreaming yet. She knew it must be a dream, for if she were awake, such things could not be. Do you wonder that she felt sure she had not come back to earth? This, this is what she saw. Do you wonder that she felt sure she hadn't come back to earth? This is what she saw. In the grate there was a glowing, blazing fire. On the hob was a little brass kettle hissing and boiling. On the hob 架子上吧，铁架。On the hob was a little brass kettle hissing and boiling. Spread upon the floor was a spread upon the spread up spread upon the floor Spread upon the floor was a thick, warm, crimson rug. Before the fire, a folding chair unfolded, and with cushion on it. By the chair, a small folding table unfolded, covered with a white cloth, and upon it spread some carved dishes, a cup, a saucer, a saucer. 哦，saucer 是茶杯托呀
Saucer.
，saucer 茶碟。 茶碟。A cup, a sword. On the bed were new warm coverings, and a stain cover and a satin covered down quilt. At the foot, a curious weighted silk robe. A curious weighted silk robe. Oh, weighted. A silk weighted robe.
Wadded.
Weighted silk robe. A pair of a, a pair of quilted slippers, and some books. The room of her dreams seemed to change into fairyland, and it was flooded with warm light, for a bright lamp stood on the table covered with a rosy sheet. She sat up, resting on her elbow, and her breathing came short and fast. It doesn't melt away, she panted. Oh, I never had such a dream before. She scarcely dared to stir, but at last she pushed the bedclothes aside and put her feet on the floor with a rapturous smile. 着迷的、痴迷的、狂喜的 rapturous smile. I'm dreaming. I'm getting out of bed. She heard her own voice say. She stood up in the midst of it all, turning slowly from side to side. I'm dreaming. This real? I'm dreaming. It feels real. It's bewitched. Or am bewitched. I see it all. Her words began to hurry themselves. If I can only keep on thinking it, she cried. I don't care. I don't care. She stood panting. She stood panting a moment longer, and then cried out again. Oh, it isn't true, she said. It can't be true. But oh, how true it seems. The blazing fire drew her to it, and she kneeled down and held out her hands close to it, so close that the heat made her start back. A fire I only dreamed wouldn't be hot, she cried. She sprang up, touched the table, the dishes, the rug. She went to the bed and touched the blankets. She took out the soft weighted drying gown and suddenly clutched it to her breast and held it to her cheek. It's warm, it's soft, she almost sobbed. It's real, it must be. She threw it put her feet into the slippers. They are real, too. It's all real, she cried. I'm not dreaming. She almost staggered to the books. She almost staggered to the books and opened one which laid upon the top. Some flyleaf, just a few words, and they were these: to the little girl in the attic, from a friend. When she saw that, Wasn't it a strange thing for her to do? She put her face down upon the page and burst into tears. I don't know who it is, she sighed. Me a while. I have a friend.